Wood.
The stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas.
Well. How are you, Genevieve? We're now we're in easy land here. We're talking about pickle jars on the sides of highways, so we're just...
Yeah, I heard, and I'm like, I have no idea what they're talking about. But I'm sure it's very fascinating.
So the Sanctuary City mayors are going to be meeting with the DHS today and the Homeland Security guys. And it's interesting to me. I'm noticing that the sanctuary cities are seen by the news media and others as heroic. But it seems to me that I'll just go back to your home state of Texas. And I seem to recall Governor Rick Perry in 2009 talking about their issues with the stimulus and how, well, eventually we might have to secede. And it was just simply talk of defying the federal government, and it turned them into racists and Confederates and everything else. But defying the federal government on illegal immigrants, illegal aliens, is perfectly okay.
Yeah, apparently there's some laws that the left deems it's okay to say, I don't want to participate in those, and you're right, you're a righteous person for doing so, but then other laws you have to follow. So I guess you can just pick and choose. But, here's the reality. I think what the Trump administration is saying, oh, you can pick and choose, okay, but we're not going to pay you to make the wrong choice. And cities that have been making the wrong choice and in defiance of federal law when it comes to harboring illegal aliens and criminals are going to pay the price because they're not going to get the federal funds they've been getting. And I will say, and I think this is going to be a weekly report that they're going to start putting out, listing all the different crimes that have been committed by illegal aliens in all these different jurisdictions. And that's going to put more of a face. I mean, we've had the numbers before, we've put that out there before, but now the evidence is in, current evidence of what's happening in New York and Denver, and you name the city that's following this policy.
Interesting. Now, people don't understand how the sanctuary city or the city funding works. And to correct me if I'm wrong, they're going, well, Congress has decided. They go, no, not really, because the Justice Department actually directly contributes a certain level of funding. The Justice Department itself on a variety of different grant programs.
Yeah, just like every other agency in Washington, they all have too much money. But every one of these agencies has grants basically that they give out for different things. And the Department of Justice has over $4 billion of money that they give out to cities and jurisdictions to fight illegal criminal activity, illegal alien activity, and saying, we're giving you money to help you find these folks, and when you do, to report back to us and turn them over to us. And if you're taking that money and you're not reporting back and you're not arresting people, or even if you do, you're not handing them over to the federal authorities, then we're going to stop giving you that money, because that's specifically what they're giving them the money for. This isn't money that they're giving them to just, clean up the streets or create a new park or whatever. I mean, there's specific reasons they're giving these cities these money, and then the cities are taking it and doing the complete opposite.
Yeah, and again, this is perfectly fitting in terms of we're not going to give you, we're not going to pay for your breaking of the law.
Right, exactly. I mean, this is what kills. People have kind of taken this somehow that these cities are going to be punished in some sort of way where we're just going to withhold dollars we've been giving you. That we're just kind of general fund dollars. And even though I think that would be okay too, because they're violating federal law. These are grants that were specifically given to these areas to fight the exact kind of activity they've refused to fight. So it's like, let's say we were handing out grants to fight drug dealers, saying, we're giving you money, step up your police-powered areas where we know drug and gangs is a problem. And the cities take the money, and then they do nothing to go find the drug dealers or the gangs. They're like, people would be outraged. It's the same scenario going on here.
Boy, George Soros is going to be writing a lot of checks between him having to support the sanctuary cities and also the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. I mean, we're just spending his money left and right.
I'd love to see that. But here's what's going to be interesting. I mean, what are these cities doing with this money?
Yeah.
They're clearly not using it to do what they're supposed to be doing. So whatever they're doing with it, they're going to have to stop doing or find George Soros or somebody else to pay for it. And they can explain that to their citizens. Right,
exactly, because there's a caller, Kevin, who's on the line now. He goes, the residents, once the funding stops, you'll see people hitting the streets, and it won't be pretty. And some of the same people who were supporting illegal aliens are going to be hitting the streets. Really quickly on tax reform, where are we? I mean, I can't imagine the Republican Party, and even for that matter, the Freedom Caucus, obstructing yet another Trump administration initiative. Do you?
No, I think there's going to be tax reform, but I am still hopeful, Jamie, that they're actually going to do repeal of Obamacare first. And I mean, I think we've discussed this before. Look, there's $1 trillion worth of taxes because of Obamacare. And if you don't get that repealed first, then you're $1 trillion away from getting the kind of tax reform that you would want to have. So, I mean, you're going to have to find that trillion somewhere else if you're going to do the big, bold tax reform that President Trump
I know.
has talked about.
Yeah.
So that was one of the reasons Obamacare repeal was one of the first things coming out of the gate. Yes, it was because of the law itself, but it was also because there's $1 trillion worth of taxes sitting there that if you don't repeal that law, they're still on the books, and it makes it much harder to do the kind of tax reform they've been talking about. So it's all connected, and I think in many respects that's a good thing because it forces them not to be able to just pick and choose.
Right.
Really work hard at all of it.
I noticed President Trump mentioned heritage by name and also the Freedom Caucus. I don't agree with him on that because I actually think you guys and the Freedom Caucus actually came up with some really good refutations of what the bill was as it stands. And so I think we should thank you guys because I think this is fine. I think President Trump, even as much as people are expressing consternation over it, can take this loss for now and move on. And I think it's fine.
Well, sometimes you're better because of a loss.
Yeah,
and
right.
Honestly, we didn't take it personally. I understand people are upset. We
Yeah.
get it. We're upset too. We wanted a better law. We were promised a better law put forward. And I don't mean heritage personally. I'm talking about the American people and people who voted for both President Trump and many of the people in Congress. So, look, the reality is everybody has lived to fight for a better day of policy.
Yeah,
and I think that's what we should focus on.
We've got all the time in the world, all right? President Trump isn't going anywhere, so we'll figure this out. At Genevieve Wood, dailysignal.com, heritage.org. As always, we appreciate you.